Hey guys, hope you're going well. Today we are recapping episode 4 of Penny Dreadful, Evil Spirits in Heavenly Places. Now, I thought this episode was a lot more mild and informational as opposed to crazy demonic possessions, nudity, and really gruesome, gory deaths. And you know, I was definitely okay with that. Last week's episode was the self-contained flashback episode of Vanessa's past, and that is still hands down my favorite episode of the entire Penny Dreadful series. I loved that so much. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to take a little bit of a step back now, and this episode also had a lot more lighter moments sprinkled throughout, so we got to really just sort of look at the world and also look at characters in different situations and settings. I think now that the world is very much established, the writers are able to just step back and have a little bit of a play and put different characters together in the situations that you might not expect. So for example, the big one this week I thought was definitely Dorian Gray's partnership and wooing or courting of Angelique. Dorian is still my least favorite character because for me he doesn't really tie into our central plot enough, but to see him play, they called it a gossamer tennis, I think is the historical term for ping pong, and to see them in this setting, it was cute and it was a little bit lighthearted, which brings me to the other pairing which we wouldn't usually see, and that was Vanessa and Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, going shopping for women's clothes. If they had put either this shopping for women's clothes or the gossamer tennis scene in the season 1 of Penny Dreadful, it would have been completely out of place, but to see it now, it was just, yeah, it's really fun and cute. And Vanessa being playful in a nice, friendly, happy environment, teasing him. Also, something about both of these scenes is that it gets to show you a little bit more of the historical context of what was happening in London at this time period, which is cool. The third and final odd pairing of characters we haven't really seen interact one-on-one together would be Ethan Chandler and Sembene doing the washing up in the mansion. That was really cute to see these two men washing up in a very quiet, thoughtful kind of way. Ethan even tries to make conversation with Sembene and ask him a little bit about his past and if he was a warrior back in Africa, and Sembene deflects the question, which annoyed me because I want to know more about him. We really don't know anything about him. He's just this guardian, this watcher who seems to look after the house and keep everything in order, but what is his deal? I thought we had a really nice slow build throughout the episode, and in the final scenes when we're in the mansion and the characters all seem to be split off. So we've got Sir Malcolm and Lyle in the drawing room working on the Verbus Diablo and slowly piecing together this puzzle. Then Sembene and Ethan are in the kitchen washing up. Vanessa has excused herself to go to bed, and you know that there's the witches in hiding scattered amongst the mansion. When the final little battle finally happened, I thought it was slightly anticlimactic. I'm still not 100% on the look of the witches. I like the fact that they're completely nude and sort of genderless in a way, and they've got all these like crazy scars and burns on them. But to see them fight like that, I didn't think it was possibly menacing enough. And then of course, if they were able to infiltrate the mansion that easily and then all they ended up doing was yanking out a chunk of Vanessa's hair, which I assume is going to go into play with Madame Carly's voodoo doll. But if they were just in the house already, they just didn't seem to do enough damage. I don't think I can really predict what we're going to see in the coming weeks. It feels like it could go in a lot of different directions. I think it's time that we saw more about Ethan's background though now, with Hecatea, the Madame Carly's daughter, seducing Ethan and Ethan's reaction to her and, you know, saying, "Has my father sent you?" And more of that. I would like to see what's going on. We still have little tidbits and snippets of the investigation going on about the massacre that Ethan was involved in, but I think with Hecate and Madame Kali, again reinforcing the idea of the Lupus Day and that Ethan is in fact a werewolf. I think it's time. I definitely want to see more about that. They were my thoughts on this week's episode of Penny Dreadful. Make sure you leave me comments in the comment section down below and let me know what you think of the series so far, and specifically this episode. If you have any predictions for what you think we're going to see in the coming weeks, I'd love to know. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, keep up to date with my other movie and TV reviews, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!